everybody. You know what it is. We're back. This is Too High for TV, where two guys get too high and talk about too much TV. This is just episode number 44. Holy 44. Shit, we're creeping up on 50.
Yeah,
really
I know.
Here, man.
Yeah. We're reaching our midlife crisis, bro.
But hell yeah, guys. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode. We definitely did. Talk about The Last of Us, the first 2 episodes. Woo! Oh my gosh, what a great fucking series.
I love it so much.
What a great fucking series.
I love it so much.
But yeah, if you guys enjoyed that episode and you enjoyed the first part of the video, thank you very much. That was a bitch and a half to upload, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, YouTube's a motherfucker, dude.
Okay, no, it's not even YouTube. It's probably something with my laptop. Again, like it's not the newest MacBook.
Yeah.
But when I was trying to like render out the video and export it, I had Premiere Pro like freeze on me probably like 5 times.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And
yeah.
It was rough because it was like, again, like I was telling you beforehand, but you guys don't know, so why did I say again? But when I was editing the video this time, I showed my boy here the freaking like an intro that I did.
Looks real good.
And fuck, that doubled the size of the file. Again, guys, I'm a very novice video editor. I don't really know shit about video editing and file sizes and all that shit. I'm just like, yo, we got to get on this video. Let's fucking do it. And so I was like, holy shit, these little effects for the intro just freaking doubled the size of my file.
Yeah.
So like normally when a video of that size would probably take like maybe like an hour or 2 to like render out and export, you know?
Typically, yeah.
That video was taking, with all the effects and the whole like 2.5 hours long, was taking about like 7 hours.
Damn, sure. Yeah, that's a chunker. Chunker.
Yeah, and guys, I had that shit freeze on me 5 fucking times where I had to literally restart my computer. And again. Like, there was one time, dude, it got up to 96%. And it stopped.
Froze.
And it stopped.
Damn
dude.
it.
I was so pissed. No! And like those, because what I try to do is I try to get this on the 3 consecutive days off that I have. I try to upload the podcast, like the audio wise. I try to edit the video. And then I've been trying to edit clips, but with this last little snag with my freaking Premiere Pro or my MacBook, whatever, taking a shit on me, it was really hard to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I try to get that done in those 3 days. And holy shit, was I fucking frustrated and pissed off, dude. Because I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna leave this. I was like figuring out how to like be able to leave like my computer on, like make sure that it doesn't like fall asleep or anything. It was like going through all that just so I could like, I didn't have to come back and freaking wake my computer up every like 10 minutes, you know? And yeah, I'd be like, all right, let me do this so I can go to bed. Hopefully when I wake up, the freaking video will be uploaded. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, be all freaking anxious and be like, all right, let me go check it. It'd be fucking frozen. And I'd be like, God damn it. So I'd be there at like 3 a.m, like restarting it, like fucking opening it back up. Yeah. And I was like, I was getting really frustrated. But then yesterday or the day before that, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to cut the video in half. Right. Yeah. So you guys are going to get episode 43 in 2 parts. And let me do that. And so I cut it in half. I rendered out and exported the first half. I had to go to work, so I did it like really quick. So I did it really quick before I went to work. And then when I came back, it was all cherry. And I was like, oh, thank goodness. So yes, I uploaded that. So episode 43 part 1 is now up on YouTube, guys. I know we took a big slack on freaking, uploading the videos.
Little gap.
But we're back on it. We're for sure going to be back on this shit. Coming harder than ever. Pause that shit 1,000%. Sorry. But we're going to be going harder than ever, guys. And, this is just the start. So yeah, episode 43 part 1 is now up on YouTube. Go subscribe, go like, go follow, all that fun shit. Too High for TV, TOOHIGH 4TV. Goddamn, I feel like I haven't done that in a long time.
I know, it's been a minute. Yeah.
Goddamn.
Yeah. Also, too, like you're saying, too, we're novice at this stuff or whatever. So if anybody has any tips out there on how to upload that shit a little bit cleaner, anything, maybe you want to see from us in the videos in the future, let us know, man. Comment, do that type of shit. Like, are we recording? Woo! Get some motion in the ocean. No, but yeah, seriously, like we like the engagement. I think that's another thing we can probably hop back on a little bit is a little bit more community engagement with stuff like that. So let us know. We should do another fan episode soon too.
I'm with that, guys.
Throw it out there. What kind of things they want us to watch? Who knows?
Go comment on our latest upload on YouTube on the
got
latest
one up
episode. No, we actually have with that I think we have like 17 videos uploaded or something like that.
No, yeah, I meant the comments.
Oh yeah. We have one comment up there,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
And hey, shout out to that commenter, whoever you are. I love you and I appreciate you.
You're the best.
You know,
Thank you for engaging with us.
hell yeah, go comment on the last video what movies or TV shows or anything like games, whatever you guys want to see us like talk about or hear us talk about.
Anime, classic cartoons, whatever. We'll watch whatever. We'll play whatever. You want us to play a board game? Fuck it. We'll play a board game on that episode.
Hey, we'll sit here and we'll fucking play Monopoly.
Why
you
the
know?
fuck not, you know?
We'll play Sorry.
I'll fucking bring a monocle and get a little evil guy mustache.
Dude, I think we need to have like a day where we like live stream playing like Candyland or something like that.
Dude, I'd be down. That
I
sounds
love
fun.
some Candyland,
I'm down, bro. Yeah.
I love some
Let's
Candyland.
do some Candyland. I'm with it, bro.
Hell yeah. But also follow us on Instagram. On Instagram, guys. 2-for-TV, TOOHIGH4TV. And 4 as in the number 4. Not FOUR, not FOR, not FORE. Number 4.
Number 4.
Damn, I do.
There's a lot of 4s.
I did that off the top of my head.
That was
too.
good, yeah. I was like, wait, there's another 4? I heard the first 2 and I was like, where's he going with the third one?
4 like in
Foreground?
like you're playing playing golf.
Yeah.
You know, 4.
4? Oh, is
Yeah.
that what it is? I thought it was the number 4. FOUR when you said 4.
No, it's the FORE.
FORE. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
4.
4.
4.
I think this episode's got to be called 4 B4.
But hell yeah, guys. Yeah, go watch our videos.
Yeah,
go
check it
follow
out.
us on Instagram. We're gonna get better on the engagement on Instagram as well. A lot of clips and stuff coming up. So
Be
keep
ready.
an eye out.
Be ready.
Go follow. Go subscribe. Go do all that fun stuff.
Like,
you know?
subscribe, and share, you know? Like all the YouTubers say all the time.
Yeah, like and subscribe and share and all that fucking
that
bullshit.
shit,
You know.
yeah.
And while we're at it, you know, go follow us. You can find us on Spotify.
Yeah.
Find us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on SoundCloud. You know, but once you're at Spotify and Apple Podcasts, you know, it's already at your fingertips. If you have an iPhone, if you have an Apple product, you already have one half of those major streaming platforms.
Yeah,
right
you
there.
really do.
Checked off the
Just
board.
load it onto your phone.
Yeah, you don't even have to go to the App Store and
Nope.
upload it. You know, you guys, it's probably on like the first screen when you unlock your phone.
More than likely.
Yeah, if you just went to like T-Mobile today and just got your new iPhone,
You're going to have it. It's
Apple
going to be there.
Podcast is gonna be there.
It's going to
And
be
we're-
shoved right in your face.
We're already in your shit like YouTube. Remember when that one iPhone came out and freaking YouTube was just on everyone's
Pre-built.
freaking...
Yeah. It had the old like brown box TV like icon.
No, U2, the band.
Oh, YouTube. Yeah. Oh, I hated that.
Dude, hey,
That was the worst.
that's great marketing though. Like if I'm like, I can't hate on them, you know.
No,
but it's
you're right. It's just
like-
weird. It's like, you know, I'm all, you know, you want to make a free album, YouTube? You do that, Bono. You do that, The Edge. You guys are cool. I think The Edge plays real good guitar, has a lot of sick ass effects. Don't automatically download it on my phone though, please. If I want it, I'll download it.
Fuck yeah, basically. That's my catchphrase, guys. Fuck yeah, basically.
Fuck yeah, basically.
Hell yeah. But yeah, my boy, how was your week? We're finally getting back here, sitting
Yep.
down.
It was pretty good. Let me see. Nothing quite as crazy or horrifyingly excited as last week, which is a good thing in my book, you know.
Right.
I'm down to have a chill week after all that fucking hoopla.
Ghosts and shit. You don't need that shit all the time.
Nah,
bro.
dude, ghosts, dude, going to the freaking vet and shit like that. I'm cool, you know. He's back to his regular spirits, which is good, you know. Back to his usual rascally self, trying to start fights with everybody all the time, like a little travieso that he is,
That
dude.
freaking guy.
Yeah, man, he's a wild child. Ryan's hung out with him a couple times. For anybody else out there watching the podcast that has gotten to hang out with him, you know, he's a little bit of a wild one. He's a bit of a wild child.
Wild child. Wild thing.
You make my heart sing.
Dude, you haven't seen Major League, huh?
No.
Wow. Yeah, we need to watch Major
Yeah.
League.
One of the I think I told this is a conversation if I remember correctly I was having with Jacob and Amber when she still worked with us, but like I just asked them, I was like, honestly, you guys, like just make a list for me of movies that I've never seen before and I'll just slowly tick away at it because there is quite a few. Like a lot of I think we've like for those of you who have watched with us and listened with us for a while, you probably know a lot of my movie repertoire is like pretty like pop culture in the sense of like superheroes, fantasy, adventure, like type of shit. You know what I mean? Like that's definitely my bread and butter right there.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, no, definitely not. But one of the things we've always talked about on this podcast is, you know, expanding horizons, watching different things, which again, we've done a lot of, at least I know I have personally.
Definitely.
But there's a lot of classics that I think I haven't seen, you know? Like, I gotta definitely go in hard on the, like, 80s, 90s, like, whether it's, like, you know, some Schwarzenegger stuff, like, maybe it's, like, a classic fucking Rocky movie that I've never seen before.
yeah,
you
dude, we
know?
need to have a
Like,
Rocky
I know you're down with
episode.
some Rocky, yeah, for sure. So, there's some stuff I gotta catch up on, you know? Maybe we'll do, like, a fucking shit Daniel's never seen before episode.
Shit Daniel's never
Yeah,
seen.
like fucking I can't believe he hasn't seen this.
Yeah. What, like, name off a classic that you that, you know, people are always like, yeah, this is a classic, man, but you just haven't seen it.
There's like I know one that like referencing that conversation again, it's like is it called like Kindergarten Cop? Is that what it is?
I've never
There's
heard
an
of anything
Arnold
like that.
Schwarzenegger movie where that I guess is pretty classic where and I've seen clips from it before on YouTube, like on other people, like just either it's like referencing it or talking about something or other. And if I'm not mistaken, it's like Arnold has to maybe go undercover as like a kindergarten teacher or something like that. But he ends up in a classroom like full of kindergarten kids and has to do, I don't know, cop shit or something like that. That's a classic one I've never seen before. There's a lot of like I don't know how to like classify them other than like feel good sports movies that like I
Okay.
hear you and the boys talking about in the back a
Yeah.
lot that I haven't seen. I'm
Major
assuming Major League, yeah,
League.
is one of them. Yeah,
Bull Durham's another good one.
yeah. I never seen Field of Dreams before.
Honestly, I've never seen
Okay,
Field of Dreams.
I know
I'm
that's a
big,
classic though.
I'm a baseball guy. Grew up playing baseball. Never watched Field of Dreams.
Okay.
I know some of you guys be like, "What the fuck, man? Field of Dreams, the fucking stupid, bro." No, I've just never seen it. Like like that's with Ray Liotta, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so we definitely need to watch that one. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just never got around to watching shit like that.
What's the one where Tom Hanks coaches the team that's made up of just girls, the baseball one? Where it's like, there's no crying in baseball.
Oh,
Like
fucking
A League of Their Own,
yeah,
right?
League of Their Own,
Yeah.
yes.
I've never seen that before either.
Hey, I've never seen that either.
All right, well, shit. Maybe we got a little.
There's two movies right
we got
there.
a feel good sports episode
Hell
in
yeah.
the making right now. Yeah.
But those sound. There's a lot of movies that, like stuff like Shawshank Redemption. I've never freaking
Never
watched
seen that either,
That
yeah.
I need to watch. There's a lot of shit. There's that one with Bruce Willis, 12 Monkeys or something.
Oh
like that.
yeah, my dad actually keeps telling me to watch that very recently because I think in the last year, Brad Pitt is an actor that has definitely shot up in my personal rankings for sure. Like with stuff like Babylon last year, we had Bullet Train, right? Like, and I think he's in that as well, if I'm not mistaken. 12 Monkeys.
Brad Pitt.
I think so.
Oh wait, yeah, I think that's Brad Pitt, not Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt.
But yeah, I've heard that's really good. Want to see
Wait,
that?
Or is Bruce Willis in that too? Who else
Maybe
is
they're
in
both in it. Who
that?
knows?
Yeah, I think they're both. Can you check that real quick?
I can. Yeah.
12 Monkeys.
Can do
I
a
feel
reference.
I think they're both in. I want to say they're both in that, but I want to see that because I know there was a lot of references to that in I think Andor, if I'm not mistaken. I know there was like a recent
Yep,
TV show
both of them.
where there was a lot of references to 12 Monkeys, and yeah, I want to. Or no, to. I think Moon Knight was one where there was like, oh yeah,
Oh, a lot of
like,
12 Monkeys
a lot of 12
references.
Monkeys
Okay,
kind of
yeah.
references. Because it is one of those where like you don't know if it like
Is
shit's
that
real.
isn't that one? What's in the box?
No, that's 7.
Oh,
we need to,
7.
dude. We need to watch.
Okay,
Have you never
okay.
watched that one?
I've never seen 7.
Oh, that's a fucking.
I
good
heard
one.
that the Batman took a lot of inspiration from 7. Yeah, okay.
I would definitely agree
Okay,
with
yeah,
that.
Yeah. We can do like maybe that's a good back to back actually. 7 and 12 Monkeys.
I'm down.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Okay, cool. We got the next fucking couple weeks planned out.
I'm gonna take this fucking bong rip.
Rip
quick.
it, bro.
All right, guys, you're gonna be with me on this journey right now. I have not taken a bong rip in I don't know how fucking long.
Has it been a minute? Really?
It's been a minute. I used to
Okay.
be a heavy like taking
Bong
snaps
smoker?
out of bongs
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
And then I get heavy into like smoking joints. You guys know me. I've said it on this podcast probably a billion times. I just love smoking a joint. Something about just grinding the weed up and rolling it up with your own 2 hands is like,
It's a ritual about it.
I feel like I'm building a house back in 1400, like chopping
your
trees
Lincoln logs
down.
and
Yeah,
shit,
exactly.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, this has been a minute. I haven't taken a snap in a while. I'm going to attempt to snap this. I don't think it's going to go well, but
see how
we'll
it goes.
freaking see.
The fatal moment. Oh, that's Milky. Your boy's about to get baked right now. How's that hitting? Woo! That's a hot one. Get some water in you. Get some water in you. See, that's why I've been staying away from smoking, ladies and gentlemen. How you feeling? Yeah? That was a very impressive rep, I have to say. I'm not gonna lie, that was the full snap. You fucking took it down, my boy. Good job. That's completely gone, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm crying.
Through the bowl piece and everything. That was a certified snap.
That was really bad because as soon as I flicked the lighter and I saw it light up the bowl, I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do this.
Oh, shit. That's a lot. You did, though, bro. You took it down. You fucking took it down hard. Good job. I'm proud of you, dude.
I'm really contemplating if it was worth it or not.
Oh,
God,
yeah.
this is a great moment for the podcast, especially if you're watching.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Especially if you're going to be watching the
That's
video.
a one of a kind right there.
Oh, gosh.
I don't think we've had a full-on coughing fit before that wasn't attributed to like maybe some asthma shit that I have. That's like probably the fattest rip that's ever happened on a podcast right there. You saw it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Ah, that was
Goose frava.
reminded me of high school.
Yeah. Just ripping it fat, trying to get as high as possible, as quickly as possible. Don't have time to take your time.
Just like the taste of the weed through the glass
Uh-huh.
really brought me back to like senior year of high school.
Yeah.
Because like I always had like a little bong that I had with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I would carry it around in this little bag. Like a drawstring bag.
Uh-huh.
And it was honestly probably pretty bad because it was like a drawstring bag that was like my high school's like a drawstring bag.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, fuck it.
San Benito.
And I don't know, when you're in high school, I wouldn't say a lot of people have bongs because it's probably pretty hard to
Get some glass.
get some glass.
Sure,
but
sure.
there was always those couple people that had a bong.
Yeah.
And man,
It's the old days right there. A little bit of a core memory for you being revisited on the podcast. Oh, shit.
but fuck, dude, let's get into it. Not what we're talking about this week, but
Yeah.
there's some shit that we got to talk about for sure.
Are we going into episode 3? Yeah.
I think we are, guys.
Okay, Last of Us.
Listen,
Shit,
guys.
should we just do a check-in every week, honestly? Like,
I think we might have to do a
Yeah.
check-in every week just because this show's so good. I mean,
it's hard not to talk about,
yeah, guys.
honestly.
I know we talked about it already last week, but
We talked about episode 1 and 2. Episode 3 is out now. Before we go forward on this, really quickly, I do want to give not a shout out, just a rest in peace moment. I'm not sure if you heard about this or not, but I hope I'm not pronouncing this wrong. Annie Wershing,
yes.
the actor that played Tess in the video game version of The Last of Us, unfortunately lost her battle with cancer, and she passed away in the last few days. So rest in peace. She's the original performance for that shit. It's where the inspiration comes from. Wouldn't have any of the great moments in the show that we have without her. So a lot of love and a lot of kudos and condolences to her family. I hope everybody's all right over there. She touched the hearts of a lot of people, a lot of fans.
Yeah. Thoughts and prayers definitely to her family, her friends, all her loved ones. She was 45, I believe. And
Yeah.
That's, that's very young for
Yeah.
people to pass away. And, for someone who was that pivotal to such a critically acclaimed game, and I think probably going to go down as one of the best games ever made.
Oh yeah, all time, dude.
Like it's tragic and it's heartbreaking and it's sad that she didn't get to see like the show finish up. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I hope she was enjoying the show,
What
and I
came
hope
out so
she
far, yeah.
appreciated what Anna Torv has done with
Yeah.
the Tess character. And again, thoughts and prayers to her family. That's
Yeah. A testament to her acting ability, though. She has a relatively short amount of screen time in comparison to the rest of the game, and still happens to be just as iconic as Joel and Ellie, just as impactful as Joel and Ellie are. So, great actor, man. It's definitely a loss for sure.
let's have a moment of silence. All right. Well, I think we got a hard left turn here, but
Yeah, no, it's a honestly, it's almost in line with how the episode ends up. It's definitely a very heart wrenching episode, man. It gets pretty heavy in a way that's very opposite from the heaviness of the last two.
Yeah, but just such a beautiful episode. Like
Very good.
Through and through. Like I don't have a single bad thing to say about this episode. I was telling my boy here before. Like I personally think like. And all of the TV that I've watched, or spent my time like shows, everything that I've watched. Like not to say I am the go-to and the like the last say and what's the best and what's not
sure,
the best.
sure.
But out of all the stuff that I've watched, guys, this single episode is probably some of the best TV that I've seen in a long, long time. Like, just piggybacking off the first 2 episodes, right? Like, the first 2 episodes are really, really great. And from the preview, we know we're deviating from the story where we're at, right? We're going to meet these new characters, Bill and Frank. But that we've been hearing a lot about, right? Like, oh, you got to, let's, take Ellie to Bill and Frank's, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And so we don't know what we're going to get. And, it's definitely taking a big risk when you're going to spend a whole episode with characters that aren't your main characters, especially characters that aren't, spoiler alert if you haven't watched it. Spoiler alert. For The
Last of Us, yeah.
If you haven't watched the 3rd episode, definitely turn this off right now and watch it.
You owe it to yourself to watch it spoiler free for sure.
It's not very many times we ask you to turn off an episode, and this is one of those times.
This is when you're going to go and watch. Yeah, for sure.
But it's a tough task when you're going to spend a whole episode with characters that
you're introducing,
and you're going to give all this, just background to and this full-on story, and then they're not going to be there further on. It's definitely taking a big risk saying, we're going to spend time with characters that we're not even going to have in the later episodes. And they fucking knocked it out of the park.
100%, dude, yeah.
Like, hats off to freaking...
I think this was a Craig Mason episode.
Yeah, Craig Mason and also freaking...
Neil Druckmann?
Neil Druckmann. God, I'm so high, I can't remember their fucking names right now. Like, I feel it.
They're a great duo. I think that, like, you have the obvious benefits of having the original game director come back to direct, like, certain episodes and also be, like, a big creative force and co-writer of the series as well. But he did really find, like, in my opinion, the perfect partner to help him... Like, I don't know, because I wonder, like, how much of this, coming off of the podcast, I still haven't listened to episode 3 of the podcast yet, but coming off of what I do hear from it, I appreciate Craig Mason's, like, curiosity and how, like, bold he is with it, talking directly to the creator, I think that, like, it could be very easy to just treat Neil Druckmann as, like, the god of this universe, so to speak, and just be like, oh, he knows best. He created it all. He knows what he's doing. But kudos to him for, like, pushing the envelope and being like, no, what would it be like if we did this? Or like, oh, what would it be like if we got to do that? Or like literally creating an entire story, an entire hour and 15, right?
Yep. That
is just nowhere to be found in the game, Like, there's a very, very small... quick reference to Bill's sexuality in the game, and that's about it. And it's treated more like a joke section than anything,
Yeah.
And I mean, not that it's terrible and whatnot, maybe there just wasn't room for it in the game. It's more about Joel and Ellie. But kudos to, again, Craig Mason for just being like, I assume it was Craig Mason for just being like, hey, what if we did a whole fucking episode about Bill and Frank really quick? Like, because the thing is, too, that's great about it is, you still get Joel and Ellie, a little more Joel in there, right? You get a revisit of Tess. You get to see them at a different time in their life, which is really cool too. But the main focus is really on these 2 brand new characters, man. And what's wild to me as well is, like, Frank isn't even introduced until like 20 minutes into the episode. So, like, he really only ends up having like what, maybe 40 to 50 minutes of screen time. And the amount that he... And Nick Offerman as well. I can't remember the actor's name. I got to look him up. The guy who plays Armand.
Oh, yeah.
But how quickly they fucking get into your hearts, man, and just, like, tear them apart by the end is absolutely insane. Like, a testament to their acting, a testament to the writing, testament to the directing. It was a really, really good episode. Murray Bartlett is the other guy's name,
yeah. Yeah, I think this, like... It's interesting, right? Because we're in a quote-unquote zombie show, and we really didn't get any zombies in this episode. We got 1, right?
Yeah.
We got 1. And
that's about it.
But
it's another interesting choice, too.
But I think what makes it so important, right, is we are, like, learning things about characters. So we're learning things about Joel and Ellie through Bill and Frank because we see the mirrors of their relationship that obviously is going to grow between... Joel and Ellie, right?
Yeah.
Bill and Joel serve the role of, like, these protectors and the saviors of, people that they love and
badass,
that they love and care about, right? Yeah. And it's just important to have an episode like this just to see the impact, right? Because Bill and Frank live a very interesting life in comparison to all the other people that are living in this world. 100%. And the fact that they very much are, in comparison, like living lavishly. They're having, they're cooking dinners.
Yep.
They're growing
They
their
still
own
have
food.
gas. They have hot water. Relatively protected. Like, I mean, obviously they don't show us every single moment of the 20-year span that this episode encompasses, but for the most part, they only get attacked like once, and they handle it pretty well. Like, Bill does get shot, but like he's fine. Like he's back in healthy spirits, presumably within like a year or something like that.
That part definitely scared me. For sure. I thought
I was nervous too, because I was wondering, I was like, damn, they've already changed so much of this episode. Are they going to flip roles right now? Like, is Bill going to be the one that dies after all, and Frank is still here when Joel and Ellie show up or something? Which obviously doesn't happen either way, but we'll get to that.
But yeah, this episode definitely makes everything around you that's going on more impactful, right? Because we get to see this couple like grow with each other and like love each other throughout these 17 years, and like the fact that they are living so like safely, right? When stuff happens with like all the raiders and stuff, you're like, oh my god, like you're really you're really feeling for them, and you're really like worried, and you're really scared.
Throws you for a loop, man.
And it's perfect, right? And I think it's what this show has done so well is, like, I mean, if you've been listening to the HBO The Last of Us podcast, they've definitely said it a lot, but using love as a central theme in this series, but having like, a gruesome backdrop to it, right? Like, I was like thinking about it so much like during the episode, and like I remember like at one point, like it popped up, I was like, damn, I've gotten like so sucked into what's going on between Bill and Frank that I've completely forgot that they're living in a fucking zombie infested world, and it's fucking crazy how much, like how well it's written, and how well everyone's acting, and how well everything's just shot, like to suck you out of that world so much, and just be like, oh my god, I feel safe right now.
You really do, in a show that for its first 2 episodes provides like pretty much constant anxiety throughout the first 2 episodes, dude. Like you're basically gripping your fucking chair praying that these people are going to survive. And they've shown us very quickly, right, by the time we get to episode 2, that not everybody is. Like Tess is already gone by the time that happens, right? And so I think I agree with you. I like that we got a little bit of pause from that, a little bit of a break. I do like what they've been saying about using love as a central theme, and not only using it, but using it in many different ways, because I think they've talked about it a lot. Not to go listen to the Last of Us podcast, first of all. We're just regurgitating information on here because it's really good and they say it a lot better than we do. But still, nonetheless, there's a lot of different types of love, right? Love can make you do a lot of different things. And I appreciate that the entirety of the show is not just complete dark, heavy, like primal, I need to protect my child at all costs type of love. We got to see a pure, innocent version of it, of just like the fucking anomaly of like love getting to grow and flourish in a fucking zombie apocalypse, man. Like you just don't really see that a lot, Like if you do, it's built up only so that somebody could get infected, right? Like one of the fucking people in the couple gets infected and the other person's heartbroken, and they go back to killing zombies all crazy or something like that. Versus like, not to skip too far ahead, but they got to go out on their own terms.
Exactly. Not a lot of people get to do that.
In a world where people can't even decide how they want to survive, right? They just have to make choices based moment to moment. They got to decide how to live their lives, how to end their lives, how they wanted to go out, all of it. It's fucking... It's pretty. It's an achievement for sure. I think I agree with you. I think it is definitely one of the best episodes of TV in general that I've seen in a long time.
Dude, this show's gonna win so many awards.
It's not even funny, bro. It's not even funny. Like, it's gonna take the cake for sure.
Like, dude, I feel so bad for like any other show.
I don't even know what's
coming
out this year,
bro.
and I don't even care.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't care, bro.
I just gonna watch Last of Us all year.
The Mandalorian's also coming out this year.
Okay. So, as excited as I am for Mandalorian, right? I think it's gonna be a sick ass season. I think it's gonna be filled with tons of awesome shit for Star Wars fans. I don't know that it will be as universally accessible as this show is, because even though this is a TV show built off of a video game that has a lot of fans, it is able to draw in a much, much, much wider audience and resonate with a lot of people.
Like, if you went into the show not even knowing The Last of Us was a video game, you would never know.
You can never tell. No,
Yeah.
definitely not. No, they're doing such a good job of setting everything back up all over again. I said this off the microphone, off the record earlier. Is like 3 episodes in so far. I'm a fab fan of the game. I'm playing it again right now. This is probably like my 3rd playthrough of the game, so I haven't played it quite as much as a lot of other fans out there, but I do really love this series. I think that the show is doing a better job so far. With a couple little exceptions here and there. There's a few things that I'm a little nervous about, but I am a fat fan of how big and heavy they're going, dude. Like, I think it's doing a phenomenal job for sure.
They're not pulling their punches, dude.
Nope.
Because again, it's so crazy to spend a whole episode like developing these characters that obviously you're getting people to like love right off the bat, and then at the end they're gone. You know,
Yeah.
that's such a crazy thing to me, and it shows that like obviously no one's safe in this, right? Like
No.
And I mean, in other zombie shows, you do get that, like, you get the fear of like people dying, but I think not to the extent of like this show where like, boom, someone dies, someone important dies in the 2nd episode, boom, someone important dies in the 3rd episode. Because Bill and Frank are definitely very important in context
100%.
to the universe of The Last of Us.
Yeah.
So
I think it goes to show that the impact that the death of an important character can have doesn't have to be based purely in like time spent, you know? Like I think a lot of IPs in the last like decade or so have really taken that route, right? Like you look at something like The Walking Dead, or you look at something like Game of Thrones, and they build up these characters over long periods of time so that it's very, very heartbreaking when they do finally die, right? After 4 or 5 seasons of being in there.
Yeah.
But I think this show goes to prove that you can have the same impact within the span of a fucking hour and 15 minutes, bro. Like, what the shit? I cannot believe how much they got into that time frame. The fact that they were able to have a timeline of 20 years be impactful and not feel rushed, not feel too slow, like never sluggish at any point, like just the perfect pace is fucking baffling, dude. It's insane.
yeah,
it's pretty
like,
crazy.
When I was watching, I was like, wow, they're really like, because it jumped 3 years like pretty frequently. Like you'd have 3 years, and it would jump in 3 years, and it would jump. And I was like, wow, they're really doing like a good job at like picking out what seemed like, for me as a viewer, what seems like very important pieces in their history, and then really fleshing them out to really get that impact, to really let that impact set, right? Because you see like the different stages that like, couples go through, like, they obviously have like that early honeymoon phase where they're all like infatuated, the passion, and then, you just skip to 3 years later and then they're fucking fighting and stuff like that.
That contrast was so great, dude, to go from like what was a very, very intimate, vulnerable scene. Like, kudos to Nick Offerman. Dude, he did a fucking fantastic job in that sequence. But to have a man who is presumably struggling with his sexuality in the regular world be lucky enough to have somebody, not only somebody come along that can just help him in general, but obviously somebody who also like, is like gay and wants to like, I mean, I don't know. Part of me wonders if like, were they just lucky enough that the universe put them together, or was some of it having to do with the fact that they're like some of the last 2 people that they might ever see in the universe? Whatever it is, the love is real. But to have him go through like losing his virginity, at least to a man, right? Like he does mention it that like he had sex with a girl once before, but he even, what's his name? Frank is like, yeah, I get it. He's like, this is not the same, bro. He's like, don't worry, baby, I got you. Is to go from that to just instantly snapping 3 or 4 years later, or whatever it is, to fucking Frank just busting out the door.
Do I ever ask for anything?
Oh, so good. So good. I fucking love it, dude. So good.
Yeah. And I also love like the part where they're like exercising, right? Where they're running. You're like, wow, they're so secluded and they're so safe that they have time to like, yeah, let me just run around.
Take a jog. Yeah.
And that part was just...
Take care of your cardiac, your fucking cardio, dude. Yeah.
That part was pretty funny. I also liked the lunch that they had with Joel and Tess. Yeah. And like immediately when freaking Frank's like, can you not? Like,
yeah. Well, you know what's actually crazy to me too that I tripped, because if I'm not mistaken, you open up with Bill, you open up with Joel and Ellie. And then you get introduced to Bill and you get a 3-year jump. And then Frank is introduced. And then it's 4 years.
Well, technically, okay, so if we're going by time, right? So when you have Joel and Ellie, but when we're introduced to Bill, we go all the way back to the beginning.
Day. Yeah, basically
actually
like a day after, right?
4 days after.
4 days after Outbreak
because
Day.
Joel makes a comment where he says Outbreak Day, like Friday, September 26th, 2003, and then I think when they flash back, it's
like the 30th, right?
Yeah, September 30th.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're introduced to him. You skip 3 years, and then Frank is introduced, and then you skip 4 years, and you have the whole like whatever sequence and stuff like that. And if I'm not mistaken, at that point, you're at 2013. And what's crazy to me, what's interesting, is that when Joel and Tess come along and have that lunch in 2013, that's the perfect spitting image of what the relationship is like in the game, presumably, because you only ever get to see Joel and Ellie interact with Bill, but you hear a lot about Tess and them. And so they all look perfect for how they looked in the game. And it's crazy because the game takes place in 2013. In the video game, shit happens in 1993, so 20 years later ends up being 2013 instead of 2023. And so, like, as a fan of the game, that was a moment for me that was like, damn, this is fucking cool. Like, I get it. They changed everything up, and they are moving away from what we're used to and giving us a new thing with these two characters, but at the same time, they're still giving you that fan service of like, here's the prime shit that you remember. Like, this is the smuggling days when they like first started to develop their relationship and stuff like that. You know, it's pretty cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I like to see like the development of like the code that they had.
Yeah.
Like, we should have like a code. You know? Like 80s obviously means bad. You know? Like that was fucking.
It's good shit.
Yeah, that was really great. Yeah, I like to see like I loved to see like all the little things that they
it was kind of just like a cute like double date dynamic as well. You know, to have like not to be like rude or stereotypical or anything, but like the more feminine characters kind of go off and be fun with each other and just like have a good time drinking wine. Yeah. Then you have the two fucking manly men just sitting there like, listen,
I don't like you.
Yeah. It's good shit, dude. I loved it.
That shit was pretty funny.
Yeah.
When Joel's like, yeah, that fence over there, not gonna last more than a year. Galvanized steel, he's also already starting to corrode or whatever.
He's like, I can get you 10 spools of aluminum tin, blah, 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 or whatever.
Yeah,
you see Bill, and he's kind of like, fuck, how did he know that?
He's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
He's like, I knew they were gonna be down in the bed.
Yeah. It's good shit, man.
That was great. And I fucking, it was just such a beautiful episode, man. I loved the song, the Linda Ronstadt.
Oh, yeah.
The freaking, what's it called?
I think it's something along the lines of a long, long time. I'm
yeah.
Love you for a long, long time.
Yeah, long, long time, I think it is.
It's a great song.
Beautiful song. I love, like, how initially when it's introduced, you have Frank who's trying to do his rendition, but it's not like it's not very good. It's so funny how they mentioned in the podcast how that actor is actually like really good at like singing and like playing the piano.
That's funny.
Yeah,
so he was so good. He knew how to do a bad job of it.
Well, they were just saying it was funny, like because they've seen him like play and like singing. They're like, yeah, he's like actually like really really good. So it was just funny seeing him like act and play as if like he doesn't really know and like just do this whole like you know. And then you hear Bill's rendition of it, and it's definitely a little bit more like because when Frank is doing his, it feels almost a little like pop-ish. You know, it's a little bit more faster paced. The chords definitely hit a little bit differently. Yeah. But then when Bill does like the quote unquote real version, it definitely hits a little bit more. It's a lot slower. It definitely feels a little bit more emotional. And then when you hear it at the end, I was like, oh god, this is fucking awesome.
Beautiful, dude. Yeah,
so beautiful.
Yeah, no, he makes it very personal for sure. Like you can feel the heart coming from him. You can feel him singing to his what I imagine is an imaginary love, you know, the love he longs for, which of course eventually ends up being Frank, right? But yeah, I just love the response from Frank tells you everything, right? When he just looks at him and he goes, who's the girl? And then obviously you get the like, you know, there's no girl or whatever, and he's like, I know, or whatever. Great shit. But just that response like encompasses how that performance was perfectly, you know? You can feel the heart from him for sure.
You can feel it, man.
You can feel it,
You can
man.
feel it.
You can feel it.
It was great. And I loved I mean obviously I didn't love, but like it was kind of interesting when like Joel and Ellie go like gonna go there and like is it specific on how long after that they,
I don't
like,
think
showed up?
it's been long. I don't remember the exact date, but Ellie does read the year 2023. So it was sometime earlier that year. I don't know exactly how long it's been, but when she opens that letter that's on the table from Bill and they find the keys to the truck and everything like that, she says like something 2023 or whatever.
So yeah, it's like August something.
Yeah.
But I'm just, that was the thing about this episode too, is like they do the 3-year time jumps, and there was one point where I was like, fuck, I wasn't keeping track of how many years, and fuck, what year, and like, goddamn
I don't know what time.
Yeah, because I was like, I kind of thought like, okay, something's got to happen with the song,
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. It's gonna come back around. Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, when is it gonna happen? And obviously, when all that stuff with Bill and Frank happens and like the radios, I was like, oh my gosh, is like the song gonna happen here? I was like, is this what's gonna trigger the song?
Yeah.
And then it doesn't happen. I'm like, all right, fuck, when is it gonna come?
Yeah.
You know? And then obviously at the end when everything happens, not gonna say exactly what happens like at the end, so you guys can go watch that for yourself.
Yeah.
But and then the song comes on, right, and Joel says something to the extent of, what did he say? Like, if he hasn't, like, if he's left this running for like a week, blah 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 blah, or something like that. So.
Oh yeah. Like for how long they've been dead or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a I was watching all the emotion had like not worn off, but I like kind of got my bearings again. You know, I was like, okay, let me reset myself. That was a lot. Like after everything happens with the ending of Bill and Frank's story, right? And then when Joel and Ellie show up and they're like, I'm gonna take a shower really quick, and they're going through the clothes and all that, and I was like, oh my god, if my boy Joel comes out with a green shirt right now, I'm gonna lose my fucking shit, bro. Like, it's stupid as fuck. That's the craziest thing you could ever hear, right? Like, if my boy Joel comes out in a green shirt, I'm gonna lose my shit. But let me tell you something, dude. When Ellie walks out with that red fucking shirt and the black undersleeve, and Joel's out there in that green shirt, and they look like the fucking cover of the video game, I lost my shit, dude. I was like, it's like when we spent years and years of seeing wonderfully, beautifully done Spider-Man costumes, but then Tom Holland comes along and he just has the perfect Spider-Man suit, dude. It's like, oh my god, that's fucking it right there. Like, that's what I've been waiting for.
Whoa, you thought Tom Holland was a perfect Spider-Man suit?
Yeah. Is that a controversial statement?
I mean, I don't know if it's controversial to the world, but I don't know if I could subscribe to that. I don't know if I could subscribe to that. To me, the Andrew Garfield suit is probably
all
the
right.
best
Real quick, one rundown of like top Spider-Man suits. I would say transition. I think that the Civil War suit is a good prototype of what ends up being in No Way Home. In my mind, those suits are basically identical. I don't give a damn if there's like a couple more black lines on it or whatever. Shit looks like a classic comic book. Color scheme's perfect. Andrew Garfield is number 2 because it is quite beautiful. It looks very, very good. And it's a functional suit. You know, you don't have a lot of CG on there. They actually built it. And you're never going to go wrong with some classic Tobey Maguire. Yeah. Those eyes are fucking iconic, bro. Like, they're just really fucking good.
Yeah, my list goes like Andrew Garfield 1, and honestly, like for me, Tobey Maguire is like 1B because of like how iconic that is.
Yeah, it's classic.
And like the Tom Holland ones, I was cool with, but I wasn't hella big on them. Honestly, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, this one's fucking crazy or that one's fucking crazy. I think the one that I enjoyed the most was probably the first one, just because of like
not the last one, the final swing one in No Way Home.
Oh, the final swing.
That one's perfect.
We're talking about that one, the final swing.
That one's perfect, bro.
Okay, that one is really good. Not gonna lie, but I think we need to see him more in that.
Oh
suit.
yeah, for sure.
I can't rank that one.
You only
me
get
personally,
like 30 seconds of it.
Yeah. It's probably not even 30 seconds. It's probably honestly more
pretty quick.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
Yeah, it's barely like the final like minute of the movie. You get glimpses of it, and then you see it in the dark a lot too.
Yeah, it's like when you see the leaked version of like a trailer from like Comic-Con, you know?
Yeah.
But then when you actually see, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
that's it. Right
yeah,
there,
that's
yeah.
it right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I gotta actually see it before I can rank that one.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think one of the things I can agree with you that like not all the Tom Holland suits are hits, but the one thing that I do enjoy about it is that Spider-Man is very famous for having a lot of different suits. And so I appreciate that we got that in some live action version. You know what I mean? Like him going through a range of different shit. Like he always goes back to the classic red and blue, but there's hundreds and hundreds of alternate Spider-Man costumes that are super iconic. So I'm glad that we got some of them.
I even like the ones in I like the from Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah, the Peter Parker ones in there.
Oh, those are good, dude.
Those
they're
are
classic.
that one's
perfect.
Stupid clean.
It's also
I said
animated.
Peter Parker, but obviously they're all Peter Parker. There's like 6 of them in there. But
it's all
the main
animated too, you know. So like they look great. You can just draw them exactly how they're supposed to look. Yeah.
Also, you can CG a good suit, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. You know what's another sleeper hit suit for me? And maybe I'm curious to hear if you agree or disagree. I like the Amazing Spider-Man 1 costume. I know it's weird. It's a little different. People complain about the eyes from time to time.
Oh, no, I like that one.
I think it's pretty fucking cool, dude. I think I appreciate that they try to do something different that still stayed like pretty true to like what a classic Spider-Man suit should be, you know?
Yeah, it's a good one. I think it's an honorable mention for sure.
Yeah. Honorable mention. That's a good way to put it. So anyways, that was our Spider-Man costume talk. That sound effect right there reminds me of like, did you ever watch like Super Friends when they would do like they would, so like you have like, I don't know, Batman and Wonder Woman like figuring something out like out elsewhere or whatever, and then they would go like, meanwhile back at the Hall of Justice, and they're like you know, like classic cartoon like transition sounds.
Yeah, hell
That's
yeah.
what it reminds me of. But yeah, anyways, Last of Us episode 3. Good shit, man. I will say
Shit.
one thing, I won't call it a gripe. It's just interesting to me, and the evidence that I think I have found from the next week on Last of Us does concern me ever so slightly. But
Okay.
so let me explain. I'm trying to figure out how to explain myself here without giving away too much spoilers. It seems to me that because
Well, spoilers if you don't want to hear anything else.
Potential spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
Potential spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
It's interesting to me that they have both Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2 out and completed and done, and how they are, in my opinion, setting things up that you didn't really think about until the second game came along.
Okay.
So I am slightly like cautious about it still, you know, because I kind of want Last of Us Part 1 to be Last of Us Part 1 and Last of Us Part 2 to be Last of Us Part 2. I don't know how I feel yet about those two kind of commingling and crossing over, because I think part of what makes a lot of the character changes and, you know, 4 years, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's a 4 or 5 year gap in between the first and second games. And it makes a lot of the things shocking that happen in the second game. You know, we're like, oh shit, this is where we are. This is what's happened. This is how they've grown and shit like that. So to have those moments be present and have some of the hints at those changes be present in this early on in the series is interesting. It's a little different for sure.
Okay.
So we'll see how it shakes out.
I think I kind of like that from what you're describing. Me personally, I like. I probably don't pick up on it now because I'm not as privy to obviously your knowledge of like The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2. But to me, I really like that stuff. Like, for example, when I went back and watched like The Walking Dead, when I didn't know who like the saviors were, or I didn't know who Negan was, right? And the first time they ever name dropped him or name dropped the saviors, I was just like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
But then when I went back and watched it and I see them name drop it like early on, and I'm like, oh shit, this is actually pretty crazy that they're giving you these little pieces, right?
Yeah.
If you know they're giving you these little pieces, and you just can kind of see what's going on in the background without needing to see what's going on.
Yeah,
in
dropping
the background.
breadcrumbs here and there. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, I think it can be well done. Absolutely. I think I'm just nervous as like a fan of the game, you know, of like just being like, oh shit, they're gonna, because they have really already changed a lot. And like I've said multiple times, I think everything that they have changed has been fucking phenomenal. Like I have no problem with the stuff that they've switched around. In fact, I like it. Like I would love it more than how some of it's been done in the game, right? But there's certain things that's probably a controversial statement. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm interested to see how they do it. I want to see what goes down. I'm ready.
I think a part, especially in that episode, before we like wrap up here, so we can get on to what we're gonna talk about today. A funny part for me is when they like get into the truck and Ellie's just like, "Oh my god," you know? And
Oh
he's
yeah, like a space.
She's
Yeah,
she's like, "This is so great." And he's like, "No, this is just a shitty fucking." Chevy."
Yeah.
And she's just like, "Oh, this is like a spaceship to
Yeah.
me." Yeah, that's
No,
just hella
that's
funny.
another great change from the game, because like, I don't think it's like a crazy heavy spoiler thing, but like the truck is a very central part of the sequence in the game with Bill as well, and Ellie drives it like out of the chaos, which is like, you don't double think it too much when you're playing the game because of like how intense everything is, because you are literally trying to survive a bunch of clickers and runners and shit like that, right? But when you stop to think about it, it's like, how would this 14-year-old girl who grew up in the apocalypse have time to learn how to drive a car? You know what I mean? Like, I like that detail, and I like that change that they like make Ellie so oblivious to like the things that we find so simple, you know? Like, it's also another great detail when he's like, seatbelt, and she's like, what?
Yeah, dude, yeah, that was perfect to me because
Yeah.
it makes complete sense. Someone that grew up not knowing, not fucking ever riding in a
No,
car or anything
yeah.
like that is not going to know what you mean when you say seatbelt.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yeah.
I wonder, it was probably like a shock to, not a shock, but like a weird, like, you know, you haven't ridden a bike in a long time, so you finally
Yeah.
ride a bike. Like for Joel, when he's just like, oh yeah, put your seatbelt on. Like,
Yeah.
he's probably like, fuck, I haven't said that shit like in a long time.
Yeah, because he
You
has
know?
to be a dad in that moment again as well, you know? Yeah. One that cracked me up a little bit, but I was also like, you don't understand, Ellie, which she's like, when they see the plane crashed, right? And she's like, you ever been on one of those? And he's like, yeah, wasn't too great. She's like, why? He's like, well, I got a middle seat and I had to pay $12 for a sandwich. She's like, dude, you got to go up in the air. I was like, get on a fucking plane, Ellie, and tell me that shit's comfortable. I was like, but she has a point, you know? I like that they're using those moments to like kind of be like, you know, be grateful for what we got, you know? Like we literally, it is a marvel of technology that we can fly across the country in like a few hours.
I think about that shit all the time. How the fuck is a heavy plane fucking getting up in the air and
Flying,
just flying
bro.
a billion
Yeah.
people?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty crazy. So I did like the moment, but like there was like a slight jolt in me that was like, fight me, Ellie. I was like, you don't know what it's like. It's crazy.
Yeah, just a lot of great moments in this fucking episode.
Yeah.
Heart-wrenching. Beautiful at the end. I like the shot that they give at the end of like just the window, right?
Yeah.
Because that's a big thing like from the game. So
Also, just like another one too. I know we're trying to wrap it up here really quick, but another kind of just like disturbing moment to me that's like kind of scary is when Ellie does interact with the fucking runner or infected underneath, bro. Like I was like, oh, that's
creepy, bro.
that's some serial killer vibes right there. Like
She is,
finding a wounded animal in the forest and cutting it open and shit like that. Like I was like, oh goddamn, she's damaged. She's fucked up.
She is a sadistic little one, man, and she
really is.
She copped Frank's gun at the end. So.
Yeah, dude. Oh, that's another moment. That was one right there that I'm still kind of 50-50 on. We'll see how it plays out because there is like the way Ellie does finally get a gun is a nice moment between Joel and Ellie, I think, you know? So we'll see how that plays out. I want to see how that goes. She's definitely, and this is like kind of a crazy statement because of how fucking wild child she is in the game already. I think she's a lot more brash and bold in the show.
Oh, really?
This version of Ellie, yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
I think so. I don't know. Just from what I've seen so far, we'll see how much further it goes. Again, I think some of that has to do with the fact that they can start this season, this part 1, knowing where she ends up in part 2. So it kind of makes sense to set up some of those character traits early on, you know? But it's interesting to see it, like things that weren't really present in the first game.
Hell yeah. But yeah, guys, that was our
Last
take
of Us
on
check
The Last
in.
of Us episode 3.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
Go
Definitely.
watch it.
Go watch it for sure.
If you haven't seen episode 3 yet, go check out episode 3. If you haven't seen the show yet, what the fuck are you doing, man? Go
Yeah,
watch
you
Last of Us.
Fucking crazy motherfuckers.
You gotta go watch it, man.
Yeah.
It's just good TV. Forget a great game adaptation. Forget a good HBO series. Forget any. It's just a good story. Good characters. Great pace. Good tension. Some of the most tense shit I've seen in like a long time. Fucking good, man.
Beautiful. The hell yeah, guys. So we're going to get on to what we're actually going to talk about this week. And it's actually crazy. I was just thinking about this right now. This is low-key like a first episode of like shit Daniel hasn't watched yet.
Yeah, no, honestly, especially with the first, or whatever order we're going to talk about it, but one of them, yeah, like everybody's been getting on me to watch one of these movies for goddamn sure.